Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, I say, it's alright. But, yeah, here we are, early morning down on the diggings. Have yet to clean up from the other day. Took a day off yesterday. And the hole's getting pretty big over there. We'll take over there and take a look at it in a second. But what I want to talk about today is the potential for a dollar collapse. Now, everybody for years has been forecasting this, and I think people expect, or they keep forecasting what happens to, third world nations. Like a good example is like Argentina or something, which has gone through a whole bunch of different currency crises and revaluations and everything, all dependent upon their debt, or their debt to the IMF and foreign bankers. And the people are the ones that usually get screwed when this happens. I mean, the elite and the bankers, they always are covered, So the dollar is not going to disappear. It's not going to become valueless. I mean, because as long as the federal government goes out and buys, 1.4 billion bullets, they're anticipating some resistance, or they're stockpiling to make a point. The powers that be are ready to use force to, keep you accepting their dollars. And as long as the dollars are accepted, there's not going to be a collapse. I mean, what's going to happen is the value's going to be inflated away. We've seen the price of gas double in the last 4 years, and that's a trend that's going to continue. We've seen wages stagnant. When they talk about employment numbers, those things aren't going to come back until people are willing to be able to sell products to the largest consumer population, and that's China. So once Americans start making something that China don't make, which that's really difficult anymore since they make almost everything, or we're willing to work for less, we're fighting a losing battle, because more and more countries are going to be like Iran and Libya and not want to participate in the IMF global money cartel thing, and NATO will come in and knock you over, or Al-Qaeda or whatever forces they need to send in to destabilize that region and make them capitulate to the bankers. So the real thing that we need to do is just we got to take care of ourselves and try to get undependent on the banksters' money, because as long as we are compelled to use their dollars at the end of a gun, there's going to be no crisis, you see. So we don't have to protest we don't have to get the government to do anything except stop their spending. And we know that that's not going to happen. I mean, the only viable candidates for president right now, I just watched the Green Party candidate, and I mean, she has a lot of good things to say, but I mean, I didn't hear anything about concrete programs to end the Federal Reserve and put us on a sound monetary base. And the only person that's willing to even kind of maybe talk like that is because that used to be part of the Libertarian platform, but I quit being a Libertarian after 2004, after Michael Bednarik was defeated, because the elite came in and infiltrated the party, and they totally changed the platform into a kinder, gentler libertarian party. But sadly, they're the only ones that have a viable option now that Ron Paul has totally, betrayed his followers, and we're going to have to, vote for Johnson. If you're still in the voting mind and you're going to go out there and vote in November, vote Libertarian. Vote for Johnson, because he's the only guy that had the wherewithal to leave the Republican tent and seek a third party and get ballot access to all 50 states. And I recommended Ron Paul supporters do that last year, but nobody listened. And now he's not even prepared to be on any, I mean, they can't start now and try to get him, ballot access. It's too late. And I warned everybody about this last year, so we got to vote for Gary Johnson, the Libertarian. Or, if you don't like the Libertarians, you're a lefty, vote Green. Don't vote for red or blue, man. It's self-defeating. And even if we all voted for Johnson, Barack Obama's going to be president. There's nothing we can do about it. So I say to avert the collapse, the dollar collapse, is you buy the things that you need now. And, if you can get a loan, go ahead and get a loan, man. If you can make the payments, get a loan, because as we go through hyperinflation, those dollars, those payments that you're making, that money's going to be worth less in the future. And that's a principle talked about by Howard Ruff, or, in a book I read. And he talks about going into debt and then purposely going into debt, getting as much debt as you can possibly get, and to either default or keep making the payments. And the payments that you'll be making in the future with double-digit inflation is far less than trying to save for these items. So when they're saying that people are saving or anything like that, savings is impossible unless you're putting your money into value of like gold and silver. That's the only way you're going to be able to protect your savings in the future. Or that's one of the best ways, I should say. I mean, there's always going to be, insider investments and, stocks and everything like that. But for the common guy, that should be your bread and butter for the future. Is if you're holding something for your kids, holding something for your retirement, you want to be putting away money into gold and silver. Or equipment so you can go out and find your own gold and silver and get hooked up with people like me that, you know, are out here doing it, and you learn how to do it. I mean, I got more equipment here than I can use. You know, I could use help. And so there's lots of people all over the country doing this. Just look for them on YouTube, gold prospecting. I know there's guys down south in the Midwest, in Southern California, Arizona. I mean, we're doing it all over. So, and that's one of the things I like about this YouTube gold prospecting community is that we all have a love for you know, the beautiful outdoors, and then we go out and we make our equipment better. We modify it. This is a little flare that I just put on yesterday. This is an extra part I had from my Joby high banker. Since I'm not using it at all as a sluice, I've put it on here, and you know, miners are pretty innovative, and you know, we're always trying to improve our equipment and to get more, you know, production out of the work that we do. And I think that's a wonderful, great thing, especially when you're placer mining like this, because it's, you know, it has a very minimal effect on the environment. And this is a productive way that the small guy can still maybe make a living here in the future. And that's why I'm interested in it, and that's why I'm making these videos, because, you know, I believe, and I have believed this for 20, 30 years, that, you know, real precious metals are real money, and that's where we should be putting our attention and our faith. So, anyway, that's just what I think about the dollar collapse and what's going on for me here recently. Love your comments. Please keep them coming, and you have an awesome day.